Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to Critical Beauty. Um, Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Today, I have a special guest. Her name is Lydia Caisley. She is the first Miss Cosmo Australia. So I can't wait to chat with Lydia, and we're just waiting for her to enter the chat room. I believe she is already there. Let's welcome her. So if you guys have any questions for Lydia, please feel free to write them down in the chat box below, and I'd be more than happy to read the question or the comment back to her. So let her in. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
How are
Hi,
you?
thank you. Well, nice to meet you.
Likewise. So, uh, I love that banner in the background.
Yeah. So I was judging a pageant in Melbourne last weekend and I walked in and the first thing I saw was this banner with my face on. So that was a big surprise for me that my director let me keep it, which was nice.
Yes, it's gorgeous. I imagine you're in your bedroom.
I'm in my dining room at the moment.
Oh, you're in dining room. So you have a good lighting. Um,
Yeah.
Everything's perfect. I like the angle. So you follow the instructions that I sent you.
Yeah, I watched the video and followed all the tips.
That's wonderful. Now, I know that you work with Hung Pham,
Mm.
and we're going to allow Hung later on as soon as this interview, approaches, because I also want to, say hello to him, and I want him to give the opportunity to basically tell us about how he got the franchise for Miss Cosmo, international and whatnot. So my first question is to you, young lady, is are you excited about Miss Cosmo International?
Yes, I'm so excited. I can't believe how quickly it's come up. I leave in less than a week to fly to Vietnam. So I'm so excited. I think Miss Cosmo is a great platform to let women speak about their platforms and their advocacy work. So I'm really, really excited to get the ball running and head over to Vietnam to start the competition.
Now, have you ever been to Vietnam?
No, I've never been before. This is my first time, but it's a country that I've always wanted to visit and it's always been on my list of places to travel to. So this is the perfect opportunity to go and see Vietnam.
Well, of course, your mentor is Vietnamese. So
Hmm.
he can probably, give you a lot of pointers, uh, teach you about Vietnamese culture. I think there's a pretty much sizable Vietnamese community in Australia, I would imagine.
Yeah, we do have a really quite a large Vietnamese culture here in Australia. We're quite a multicultural country. I was actually lucky enough back in, I think it was May, Miss Cosmo Vietnam and Miss Universe Vietnam 2022 visited Australia on a roadshow travel trip. And during their trip to Sydney, I was lucky enough to meet them and join them for their travels. So when I met them, they introduced me to a lot about Vietnamese culture and they discussed Vietnamese tradition and introduced me to their cuisine. So ever since then, I've been really excited to come to Vietnam and actually witness it firsthand.
That's wonderful. Now, I think the Vietnamese, they eat with chopsticks. Can you eat with chopsticks?
I've been practicing eating with chopsticks. I can eat with chopsticks, not very well, but I'm getting better.
It's
Some,
interesting. It's interesting because, a lot of like Asians, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Vietnamese, when they eat, they like to eat rice. So
mm,
they always eat it like in a bowl. And
yeah,
the reason why they eat mostly from a bowl is because they like to eat rice. When you put the rice inside and all the food, the vegetables and the sauces, and you eat chopsticks, it's easier for them to eat like that.
yeah. I actually do eat quite a lot of Vietnamese food here in Australia. It's quite one of the cuisines that we like to eat quite a lot here.
Mhm. Oh, okay. Wonderful. Now, I know a little about you. Okay. Now,
Mhm.
to those people out there who are watching and to the rest of the world who do not know you, please share us something about yourself, your background, your family, your education, and all the wonderful things. Go, Lydia.
So my name is Lydia Caisley. I was originally born in Northampton in the United Kingdom, but moved to America and Washington, D.C. when I was a couple of months old. And I lived there for a couple of years before returning back to the UK and then ended up moving to Australia at the age of 13. So I've lived in three different countries. I completed a bachelor's of physiotherapy and have been working as a rehabilitation physiotherapist for the past 3 years. At the moment, I'm working in the area of neurology, which means I'm mainly looking after patients who've suffered any conditions relating to their brain or spinal cord. So these are most commonly I see strokes, brain injuries, and spinal cord injuries. Recently, I've been trained in the field of robotics. So I've learned how to use robots to help these patients relearn how to walk, which is really exciting because there's not many physiotherapists in Australia, but also the world that's trained in this area. So
Mhm.
that's something I'm quite passionate about. And then outside of my career, I volunteer as a women's youth and empowerment mentor in my local community. So this looks like supporting and guiding younger girls who've been identified at risk and helping them achieve their full potential and try and help them thrive in their future. So that
Yes.
sums up me in a little bit.
And you're how old?
25.
You're 25. So I'm very curious because you lived in three different countries. Does that mean that you have three citizenships?
I have two, so I have a dual citizen between Australia and the UK.
Okay. All right. So you never gained any American citizenship.
No, so I was there over there. My parents were diplomats, so they were on a posting. So I moved over as a diplomat. But I was actually cleaning up the other day, and I thought you'd be interested in this. I found this egg from when I was a kid. It
Oh,
was a White House Easter egg roll. So
which
when
year is that? 19 what? Oh,
2002.
2002. Oh my, that is so cute. That a cute memorabilia.
Yeah, I thought you'd be
Oh,
interested in seeing that because I know
that's
you're
cute.
in America.
Thank you. Yeah, Washington, D.C. is one of the most beautiful cities in America. Um,
Mm.
it's I've been there like a few times and they have wonderful, amazing museums. And
Mm.
when was the last time you were actually in America?
Oh, it was quite a few years ago. I think I must have been either in primary school or just starting high school when we last visited. So I'm definitely due another visit. I'd love to go back and see the area that I grew up in because I don't have many memories of it being so young.
Okay. So since you are also British,
Mm.
that means you could also compete in British pageants, right?
Yeah, I could
It's
if I
fun
wanted
too.
to.
That's
Yeah.
wonderful. But your accent is definitely Australian.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because it depends who you ask. Because in Australia, a lot of Australians say that my accent is British. But then when I go to England, everyone says my accent is Australian. So I don't know who to believe.
So when you go to Britain, you're not British enough. When you're in Australia, you're not Australian enough. So
I'm just
pretty
Lydia
much.
enough.
So how did you get interested in pageants? Is this your first pageant ever?
No, so a few years ago, I was scouted to enter Miss World Australia. And back then, I didn't really know much about pageantry at all. And I just entered as I thought it would be a great way to boost my confidence. And through that experience, I ended up really enjoying my time. And through that, I was scouted for Miss Grand Australia, where I placed in the top five. And through
Nice.
that experience, I got to go overseas on the top five trip to Indonesia for the internationals to watch and
Mhm.
support my country. And ever since watching that international experience, I really saw, what you can achieve with pageantry and how far you can take your platform and your voice.
Mhm.
And from that moment, I just knew that my goal was to represent my country and use my voice on that international stage. And it was funny because I came back from that trip and I told all my friends, one day I'm going to be Miss Australia. And then a few years later, here I am.
Exactly, exactly. Now, when the Indonesia, when Miss Grand International was held, was it 2022, I think? Yeah, 2022,
Yeah,
I believe.
2022 in
Yeah.
Indonesia.
And it was Amber Sydney, who was the Aussie representative. Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, she was amazing. I love Amber.
Yeah, I love
Beautiful.
her.
Very
Yeah.
beautiful. Now, of course, joining in pageants or being in pageants could be very challenging. First of all, I mean, what were some of the challenges that you had to face, in preparing yourself to join a pageant? Because it could be very expensive.
Well, that's one thing. I don't think I was prepared for how expensive it was. But the biggest challenge I found is I've come from a history of growing up in a dance school, in a ballet studio. And I was training quite intensely, up to 6, 7 times a week. And one thing that happens when you're training in a ballet school is that you're taught to strive for perfection. So you're always fighting for that excellence. And sometimes you can't always achieve perfection because it's always trying to get that ideal opportunity to strive for perfection. It can sometimes cause a bit of a, what's the word? You can struggle with it a little bit. And that's
Sure.
something
Yeah.
growing up I struggled with. I was always trying to find this excellence. And I think in some ways this really benefited me because it meant that I was always striving for excellence and I was always trying to do my best. But in other ways, it was somewhat detrimental because no matter how much you work, you'll never reach that. And that's something I had to really fight with my pageantry journey, and I had to learn that being imperfect was okay, and that fight embracing your flaws and your imperfection is actually what true beauty is, and that's what makes you beautiful. So that's
Exactly.
something that I worked quite hard with,
Mhm.
but I think in the long term it's probably made me better equipped for pageantry.
All right. So are you all pretty much set with that mindset that actually, to me, imperfection is perfection? If you're a totally perfect person, you're not a human being, because you're not a real person, because a real person to me is somebody who's capable of making flaws,
Hmm.
learning from their mistakes and just moving on, with their lives. So a lot of pageant girls think that, being a pageant, you have to be perfect. If you don't like your nose, go to plastic surgeon to have it fixed. Or if you don't like your size, go to the gym and work out and whatnot and everything. It's really up to you who try to feel good, in your own skin. So that's what pageant is all about. So I'm glad that you've accepted, this mindset. Bravo.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of beauty in embracing your flaws and showcasing to the world on that stage, like, hello, this is me in my most true and authentic natural self. And if you're showing who you are, that is also a message to everyone watching you to say, I'm actually comfortable in my own skin and I'm comfortable with who I am.
How would your friends describe you in 3 words, Lydia?
Oh. So I think first of all, they would say dedicated. They've seen me through my preparations in pageantry and they've seen how committed I've been throughout the journey. So they know that I'm quite a dedicated person to this. So I think they would call me supportive as well. And it goes both ways. My friends have been really supportive in my pageantry journey and they've helped me with fundraising events and things like that. And so I like to give back to them too and show that I actually support their hobbies and their interests. And I'm always going to be the first person, showing up at their dance rehearsals or showing up at their whatever it may be. So supportive is one. And I think they would say I'm bubbly as well in our social situations.
Well, dedicated, supportive, and bubbly. I think those are 3 amazing qualities that every pageant queen should have. Now, I'm not 100%, knowledgeable about Miss Cosmo's qualities or what they're looking for. From what I've read, I think Miss Cosmo, the original owner, actually the owner of Miss Cosmo, wanted to purchase the Miss Universe pageant,
Yes.
but he was turned down. So rather than fighting, he decided to create his own pageant to rival Miss Universe. So
Hmm.
when they posted all these amazing cash prize, this amazing sponsorship and whatnot, like I was like amazed, like, wow. I mean, they have a lot of money.
Yeah, he's done an incredible job, and that only makes me more excited to get over there and actually see how the pageant is going to be ran. It's very difficult, being the first pageant, knowing what to expect, but that's also really exciting because it means that the opportunities are endless and you're going in with, no expectations. So yeah, it should be
Exactly.
a really good pageant, I think.
Yeah, and I think for the time, I think at this moment there are about what, over 80 countries are expected to compete to
Oh,
participate. So that's huge. That's
it's
a lot.
going to be a very large pageant, that's for sure.
Very, very. So, Miss Cosmo organization, if you're looking for a dedicated, supportive, and bubbly queen to represent you, here is Miss Cosmo Australia. Um, what do you like to do for fun?
Yeah. Well, being a physio, one thing that I sort of preach through my work is physical activity. And that's something I've grown up with ever since I was a child. So, what I enjoy doing for fun is really any type of exercise you can think of. I love going to the gym. I love doing boxing, free weights, any type of exercise, hiking. I think that's the best way to stay both physically active, but exercise also makes me I feel a lot mentally better when I exercise too. So it achieves both of those things, but it's something that I find really fun to do.
That's wonderful. I think we all need to exercise, right?
Mm. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. I think there's been scientific studies that have been that have proven that when a person exercises, something about the chemicals in your brain, like the adrenaline rush or something like that. Uh,
That's it. When you exercise, you have this release of so many chemicals. You get lots of serotonin, which makes you feel good and it makes you feel
right.
happy, which is
Mhm.
why, people will go for a run and then after the run, they feel so much better. But it's
Exactly.
not just that, it's in the long term too. If you're exercising consistently, you're reducing your chance of many diseases as you get older and many illnesses. You're just setting yourself up for a better future because you're staying active and fit. So
100% agree.
it's not bad.
Exercise is better than any drug out there. Okay. So if you feel sad and lonely and depressed, don't even take any pills. Okay. You don't need them. Just hit
Yeah.
the treadmill, go to the gym. Okay. And carry all the weights that you have to carry and whatnot, and just have fun, like exercising. Okay, great.
And that's what I tell my patients is the best medication is exercise.
Mhm.
And you don't just have to stick to one exercise. If you don't like the gym, you don't need to go to the gym. But as long as there's another exercise you like, maybe it's swimming or running or Pilates, it doesn't matter what the form is, but if it's something you like, then
And
you'll do it.
yes, and you know what's also good for you for your health?
Hmm.
Laughter. You have to have
Yeah.
you have to have humor in your life. If you don't know how to laugh, if you don't have a sense of humor, forget it. Okay, nobody wants to be around you. Okay, so try to be try to be as like what are the three L's? Laugh, love, and live.
Laugh,
Right?
love.
Laugh,
Yeah.
laugh, love, and live. Yeah, those are the three L's. Yeah.
Hmm.
So everybody should have those three L's as their basis, in life. Good. Lydia, I have an imaginary box. What do you wish for this box to contain?
Hmm. I I would hope that box had Taylor Swift era's tour tickets.
Ooh,
Yeah,
okay. Okay,
I
girl.
feel yeah, that would be like if anything could be in that box and it was those tickets, I would be incredibly happy.
Okay, so God, we're praying that Lydia find a box that contain exactly what she wishes for. Okay. So nothing is impossible if you pray for it. Great.
Yeah, I feel a lot of people would say the same thing as well, seeing how high in demand those tickets were.
Yeah, exactly. Now, here's a serious question.
Mhm.
What is your philosophy in life, Lydia?
Well, I think every small action can create a widespread change. So, with my philosophy is I want to be the change that I want to see in the world. So, I believe the greatest impact you can have in life is through the influence that you can have on somebody or something. So one thing that's really important to me, which I briefly spoke about earlier, is my Women, Youth and Empowerment Mentorship Program. So as a volunteer in my community, I volunteer and guide and support young girls who have been identified at risk of not achieving their full potential. And something I do is I do one-on-one mentoring, but I also do group mentoring sessions too, where I teach these girls leadership skills and communication skills and really support them to get them through these difficult challenges that they're facing, whether that's, friendship problems or family problems or mental health problems. And through this guidance and support, the aim is to help them thrive in life. And I've seen that, I've seen the outcome that this has, and these girls have really improved their confidence through this program. I've seen them finish school and I've seen them enroll into university. So I know that it's a really important program to be part of. And yeah, that's something that's really important to me to see.
Do you come from a big family?
I come from a family of two siblings, so there's three of us altogether.
Okay. Do you have any sisters at all?
One sister, a little sister.
Okay. So you are pretty much qualified to give advice to younger girls, to younger women, right? Because you have a younger sister. That's
Yeah.
wonderful. That's
I
great.
grew up with a younger sister, and that's something I felt very passionately about afterwards. And, if I can be a role model for just one person, then that's enough for me.
Now, is your family supportive of you competing in pageants?
Yeah, my family are very supportive, especially my mom. She's she's a little pageant mom,
Is she
but
really?
yeah, she's really helped me a lot through my journey. And yeah, my family are going to come watch me in Vietnam, which would be really nice.
Yeah. I mean,
Mm.
it's only what, how many hours away? Are
I
you
think
based are you based in
yeah,
Sydney? You're in Sydney, right?
I'm in Canberra, which is about 3 hours
Capital.
away from me.
Okay.
But it's only an 8 hour flight, so it's
Oh,
not too far.
that's not too bad. And
Yeah,
are you flying Qantas Airways? It's one of the safest airlines in the world.
I'm actually flying Vietjet
Okay.
with Vietnam.
All right. Okay, that's good. That's good. Now, earlier we were talking about Vietnamese food. Would you consider yourself a foodie? And if so, Lydia, what one food can you eat the rest of your life? What
I
would it
definitely am a foodie. Um, One food if I could eat for the rest of my life would be hummus.
Hummus. Ooh, I love
Yeah.
hummus. Yes.
Ever
Yeah.
since I was a child, it's been my favorite food for years. Honestly, I've probably had it most days since I was a child. I love it that much.
Do you know how to prepare hummus? Have you prepared it yourself?
I've done it a few times, but most of the times I just buy like a really, really big box, like this, like 2 liters or so, and I just keep rebuying it.
Yeah.
I love
Um,
it.
yeah, I mean, I love hummus. I make it all the time, and you can add all sorts of, flavors and whatnot. You can put vegetables like I like asparagus myself, like even broccoli or roasted red bell pepper. If you
Yeah,
put it in a food blender or whatever, it's out of this world. It's great.
yeah,
So
I love
hummus for everybody.
it. Yes.
Now, here's an interesting question. If you could meet only like one person, dead or alive, who would
Mhm.
it be and why?
Yeah. It would be my ancestor, actually. Her name was Emily Davison, and she was a women's suffragette in the women's rights movement back in the UK. And she fought endlessly for women's rights and put herself through many acts. And through one of her acts, she ended up losing her life, which is incredibly sad. But this was one of the last acts that actually led to women being given the right to vote. And, that's something that I've grown up with through my childhood is knowing that she's my ancestor and her dedication to this act it has really influenced and inspired me. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to continue her legacy. And that's why I feel so passionate about women's empowerment, especially for the younger generation, because although we've come a long way as a society and a world with gender equality, there's still a lot to be done.
Uh-huh.
And I want to continue that legacy with my mentorship program and continue advocating for women's rights and women's empowerment. And that all stems from knowing my history, my family history.
That's
So if
amazing.
I could meet anyone, it would be her.
That's great. I think, I think you're fortunate to be competing in what I predict would be one of the world's biggest pageants because, if you compete in a pageant this huge, it gives you the opportunity to really, express yourself and promote your causes, to millions of people who are watching, the show. And also, of course, with the other girls that you meet and whatnot. So that's great. I'm very
Yeah.
happy. I'm so excited for you. I'm really, really, really am.
Oh, thank
That's
you. Yeah,
great.
I'm really excited too. And I think Miss Cosmo being such a large pageant, it just gives us the opportunity to reach so many different people all over the world and tell our story and explain what we're passionate about. So that's something I'm really excited for when we get over there.
Now, what is your take on cosmetic surgery? Do you think pageant girls who submit to cosmetic surgery increase their chances of winning?
Yeah, well, when it comes to cosmetic surgery, I think everyone is entitled to do whatever they want with their own body and make their own decisions. So if someone is going to feel more confident and comfortable in their own skin by having cosmetic surgery, I think they should have it done. But if, I don't think a pageant girl needs it. And when it comes to pageantry, I think pageantry is about the way you use your voice and the way you use your platform to uplift and inspire others. So although there is beauty involved with pageantry, I don't think it is the main thing. I think the main thing is how you use your platform. So cosmetic surgery with pageantry, I don't think it would help your chance of winning at all.
Okay, well, I really do appreciate that answer because for some reason a lot of people think that I mean, personally, I don't have anything against cosmetic surgery.
Mm,
If you feel like having something done in your body will make you feel better or will
mm,
boost your self-esteem, that's fine. That's
yeah.
not plus if you can afford it, go for it. But it's hard because I don't think there's such thing as natural beauty these days because, I mean, it's very rare to find like a really natural beauty
Mm,
because like even women, when you look at Instagram, people post all these uh, overly photoshopped images of themselves and whatnot, just for the sake of getting likes and validated by people, by strangers. And fine, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But psychologically, is it good for you though? You know what I mean?
yeah, and I think that's the thing with social media is there's two sides to it. So, by posting these photos and you're embracing your beauty, and I've seen people use their Instagram platforms for good. So I've seen people embrace their differences and their imperfections and use that as their voice. But then I've also seen the other side where people get caught up in Instagram and social media and they start comparing themselves to photoshopped images that aren't the true reflection of who's behind the camera. So yeah, it's a tricky one, social media.
Okay. How many hours do you spend a day on social media? Be honest.
Probably more than I would like, especially well, with pageantry, it is important to be active on social media, especially in the lead up to the international competition. You're, trying to promote yourself and your platform through your audience,
Mhm.
and you're also trying to engage with the fans. So that does take quite a lot of time out of my
Sure.
out of your day to be posting. But I think what I've been doing with my social media is I'm making sure that the content I'm posting and my interactions are as authentic as they can be because I want to showcase the true me rather than a a flawed version of me that I'm putting out there that's actually not who I am. And then you get to internationals and it's completely different. So yeah, I think trying to be as authentic as you can and with your content is important.
I'm actually looking at your Instagram page right now, and I see a lot of diverse images of yourself. There are a lot of wholesome images of you, images where you practically don't have any makeup on. A lot of glam and
Yeah.
elegant images and whatnot. So this is a very diversified type of page,
I
and
think
I really like it because your sincerity and your personality just really jumps out of your page of your account, and you're very authentic. I think you're definitely very authentic.
oh,
So
thank
I
you.
appreciate that. Oh, by the way, you were just crowned Miss Cosmo Australia not too long ago.
Yeah, literally only I think it was Friday night, so only a
Yeah,
couple of days ago. Yeah, so
yeah.
I was appointed fairly early back in
Mhm.
May. Um, but I only had the official ceremony on Friday, so that was really exciting.
Maybe they were waiting for the crown jeweler to finish the crown or something.
Yeah, our camp was a little bit delayed. But my director, he judges another pageant. He holds a license to Australia's royalty pageant. So he was waiting for their national final to
Mhm.
also be used as my crowning
Oh,
ceremony.
your crown is gorgeous, by the way. Is it like it has like blue stones? Are they like
Yeah,
a combination of stones? Yeah,
beautiful. It's got blue stones through it. So blue representing the Cosmo color. And then it also has an infinity sign in the middle, which represents the Cosmo logo.
exactly, exactly.
All
Yeah.
Cosmo.
Yeah, even the branding, I see the MCO, it has the infinity
Yeah.
symbol, right? Yeah, that's wonderful. Great.
It was very intentional with the design of the Australian crown was to reflect Cosmo as much as we can through it.
Hmm. That's wonderful. Lydia, when you're having a bad day, what do you do to make yourself feel better besides going to the gym to exercise?
That's funny because that was actually going to be my answer.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think, you can be having a bad day, but as soon as you get your body moving, all of those endorphins, you suddenly feel so much better. But if I had to answer something outside of exercise, it would just be spending quality time with the people I love and the people that support me. So whether that be my family or my friends, if you're feeling down and you're surrounded by people who are kind and uplifting you, that immediately boosts your mood.
Wonderful. As a pageant girl, of course, you need makeup.
Yeah.
However, name only three makeup products that you must always have in your purse.
Okay. Um, well, the first one, I'm not sure if it classifies as a makeup product, but it would be dry shampoo.
What is that?
Dry shampoo.
For your
Um,
hair?
yeah, I don't know if that I can use that as an answer, but that's
I guess, sure.
yeah.
Anything, yeah.
Um, because I think that's important. If you're with my life, especially, I'm always on the go, whether that's at work or going to the gym. There's always something. I'm always on the go, essentially, and so I feel like that's always a great way to just keep yourself looking fresh. And then in terms of makeup, would be mascara and concealer. So just keeping it quite natural and light, but in my daily life anyway, that's pretty much all I wear on a daily basis. I mean, working in healthcare
Mhm.
and living an active and also quite a busy lifestyle. Um, those would be my three main products.
It's interesting because I've asked this question many times to different girls, and they always include concealer as one of
Yeah.
the products. The other
Mm.
ones they can't live without. They don't need lipstick, they don't need an eyeliner, but they have to have a concealer. Good.
Yeah.
Serious question. Lydia, do you think it is possible to live a life and not ever tell a lie?
Yeah. So I think, the truth can hurt, but a lie can hurt forever. So I think it's important to be as honest and authentic as you can. And, sometimes telling the truth, it can be uncomfortable, but in the long run, it's always best to be honest. So I think you can live a very normal life with, never telling a lie. I think if anything, it makes you more respectful.
Well, I think telling a lie is it's relative. I think it all depends on the situation. Let's say if a guy wants your phone number, wants to take you out, but you don't like this guy, would you lie about giving him your phone number, or would you give him like your real phone number? You know what I
No,
mean?
I mean, yeah, definitely wouldn't give him my number, but I would, probably just be straight up and say,
I'm
I'm
not interested.
not interested. And, sometimes that's better to say, be straight up rather than cutting around the bush and telling a lie. It always comes back to get you when you lie.
All right. Do you have any talents, Lydia? Or is there a talent competition in Miss Cosmo?
Yeah, there is a talent competition, I believe.
Okay.
Um, when I was younger, and I briefly spoke about this earlier, that I was a dancer. So when I was sort of like through high school, I was doing ballet dancing quite intensively. I was training 6 to 7 times per week, sometimes doing half days of school, half days of dancing. And at the end of my schooling, I was accepted into a full-time dance school to continue training as a ballerina, hoping to go into a career. But through like the last year of my dance, I started to lose my passion for dancing and the art form, which is what actually led me into the career of physiotherapy. So since then, I haven't danced since I was 18, but growing up, that's something that was always my special talent, and that's something that I still, even just watching dancing, or it's something that's still part of me. It's not something I would do in the talent part of Miss Cosmo just because it's been so long, but um, yeah, it's something that I'll always hold close.
But talent is optional in Miss Cosmo, correct?
Yeah,
It's not mandatory. Okay. All right.
optional.
Wonderful. Um, okay, here's a good question. Who are three people that you admire?
Yeah. So I briefly discussed Emily Davison, my ancestor, before, and I admire her because of her dedication and commitment to a cause that was much greater than herself.
Mhm.
And the next one would be my mom. She has just been the biggest support through my whole pageantry journey and has been there every day for me. I really look up to her, and just seeing how much support and kindness she's given me, that's something I want to, put out into the world and give other people. And the last one, who is very relevant right now, is Kamala Harris. She's brought a really refreshing face into politics. And I think she's in a position right now of a lot of power. And she's really promoting women leadership through her platform. And she's representing, not just one small group of people, but she's representing women, not only just in America, but all over the world too. So I think that's an exciting space to keep watching, and something that I'm really following quite closely at the moment too.
Wonderful. Uh, Here's a fun question. We all have ideal vacation. What is
Mm.
yours?
So being from Australia, I love the sun and I love the beach, but we're actually in winter at the moment, and I live in Canberra, which is one of the coldest parts of Australia. So
Okay.
it's very cold here at the moment. It's puffer jacket weather. So if I could go on holiday right now, it would be somewhere very, very warm, such as Greece, and somewhere, where there's lots of beaches, lots of sun, where we can just lay on the beach all day, essentially. So that's my probably Australian coming out in me. Um, but yeah, it'd be Greece.
Greece. I've never been to Greece, but I've seen so many nice pictures about this town called Santorini with all these white houses and just beautiful beach and whatnot, blue sky, blue river, blue ocean, whatever. Yeah, I've never been there. One of these days I want to go. Now it's fun to you mentioned that it's winter in Australia. It's still summer in the United States.
Yeah.
Yeah, summer ends officially on September 21st, and then
Mm,
fall begins. So you have 4 seasons in Australia, correct?
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
4 seasons. Okay.
Depending on what area of Australia you are in, because Australia is such a humongous country, the weather can really change from one side of Australia to the other.
Mhm.
So some parts of Australia are still quite hot during the winter, but the area that I live in, it gets very, very cold.
Hmm.
But then our summers are very hot as well. So we get the nice sort of change in seasons.
That's great. So you live in Canberra, which, by the way, is the capital city of Australia.
It is.
Right.
Everybody seems to think it's Sydney, but it's actually Canberra.
Exactly, exactly. So people, all right, if you didn't know that, now you know.
Yeah.
Okay, Canberra. Great. Now, okay, let's talk about phobias. Do you
Mm.
have any phobias, Lydia? Because I know I have.
Um, I don't have any phobias anymore, and that's something that I've had to work on really hard over the years. But when I was a little bit younger, I had a really large phobia of public speaking. I was a very, very shy child, and I didn't like being in front of an audience, and I didn't like having to speak in front of crowds. But through moving countries so many times, there was one period where I actually had to attend 5 schools in just over a year due to moving countries and moving states. And this really, really pushed me out of my comfort zone a lot. With every new school, I had to learn a new education system and I had to learn how to meet new people and introduce myself. And through, constantly putting myself in these situations, I actually learned how to use my voice and how to engage with crowds. So yeah, that's something that I had to work really hard on, but now I really enjoy public speaking.
That's wonderful. And now, exactly. And when you go to Vietnam, you're going to be facing a much bigger crowd, right?
Yeah, the
So that's
largest crowd I've ever been in front of. I'm more excited for it than anything.
that's wonderful. Here's a fun question. What would you do if you were invisible for one day, Lydia?
Hmm. So we've spoken a lot about travel. I think I would hop on the first flight that I could. And oh, sorry, my phone's going off. I think I would jump on the first flight that I could and just see where it would take me, any destination. I have traveled to over 23 countries, so it's something
Wow.
travel is a big part of me, and it doesn't matter, where in the world. I just like to experience all different cultures and all different diversities.
That's wonderful. Well, yeah, you don't have to pay for tickets. I mean, since nobody can see you anyway, right? So
Well, that's it. That was my thought process is if no one can see you, you can just hop onto the first flight and have a free holiday.
well, what if it's full sitting capacity and there's no more seat available? Where would you in the
I
bathroom?
don't know. I'll be invisible, so I guess it doesn't.
Yeah, that's true. You can be in the cockpit, with the pilot.
Yeah, exactly.
That's wonderful. Last
Very,
question, Lydia. Why should you be Miss Cosmo 2024?
yeah. So Miss Cosmo has made it very clear that the qualities that they're looking for in Miss Cosmo International, and they're after someone that's a pioneering woman. I believe I'm a pioneering woman through my work as a rehabilitation physiotherapist. I'm at the forefront of research with robotic therapy, and I'm one of the only physios and female physios in the world that's trained in this area. So I believe I'm pioneering my way forward for women in healthcare and STEM. They're looking for a leader, and I think I show leadership skills through my women's youth and mentorship platform, where I'm providing leadership skills to younger girls. And they're looking for someone that's impactful. And I demonstrate this on a daily basis through my work as a physiotherapist, but also my mentorship program. And with my mentorship program, it's something that I've been doing for the past 2 years. So they want someone who can not only talk, but can act. And this is something I've been acting on for so long, which I think shows that I'm really authentic about my platform and that it's something that I really do care about. And I have a long-term plan for it. I want to take it not only just in my community in Australia, but I want to take it at an international level by, traveling around Vietnam to the economies that would benefit from women's empowerment and doing online mentorship as well. So it's something that I'm really strongly believe really strongly, and I think I demonstrate the qualities that Miss Cosmo is looking for, and I've got a tangible action plan too.
Good answer. You know what? I don't know a lot of young pageant girls who are into robotics or even physical
Mm,
therapy. So I think your background in a way is very unique. And I think
mm.
it will definitely stand out. So when the judges ask you all these questions, you're prepared to answer. And I think they will be very, very thrilled and highly excited about your background, especially robotics. How many, I mean, come on, I mean, every day, there's a new robot is being produced. Yeah,
Mm.
this is another interesting question that I meant to ask you concerning robots, because do you think eventually robots will take over humans in the working place?
I think it depends what area of work you're involved in. So, in some things like customer service, I definitely think robots will start to integrate into those roles. But in other professions, such as healthcare, where someone, you really need that face-to-face interaction, I don't think robots can take over something that so you need that genuine authenticity behind. So, in the future, there's definitely going to be robots will be helping us a lot more, but I think you're going to need that the human behind it to facilitate whatever the career may be.
I totally agree. I don't want robots to be taking care of me when I'm old. Or,
Mm. And that
I want
and that
I want that personal touch.
yeah, so we use these robotic devices, but we're, behind the screens actually telling the robot what we want it to do and how much help we want it to give the patient and things like that. So there's always going to be someone behind it, but yeah, it's definitely an interesting field to be in at the moment.
And not only that, but I think robots should be serving humans and not the other way around. Okay,
Yeah.
just a reminder.
Mm.
Good. All right, enough of these stupid questions, Lydia. Let's play some games. All right, because I like playing games. Game number one, this or that. You know how to play this game. I give you two things. You tell
Yeah,
me which you prefer. Simple.
easy.
Fried rice or steamed rice?
I prefer steamed rice.
Why is it healthier?
It's healthier.
Agree. Tap water or mineral water?
I always go for tap water.
So you trust water coming out of the faucet?
Well, in Australia, I do. Our water
Basically.
is very clean here, but yeah, it's very accessible.
Oh, okay. Great, great. Bikini or one piece swimsuit?
I prefer bikinis. Yeah, bikinis.
You know what, honey? If you've got it, flaunt it, okay? You especially if you work so hard in the gym, show it all. Show it all and be proud.
Exactly.
That's great. Koala bear or panda bear?
Well, coming from Australia, that's a very easy question. It would be koala bear.
Koala bear. Now, a lot of people think that koala bear is actually a bear. It's not, right? It's one of
Um,
I think it's one of those marsupials, like related to kangaroo, maybe?
yeah, that's a good question, to be honest.
Yeah,
The
because
area of Australia I live in, we don't really have any koalas here. It's a bit too cold for them to be
oh,
living.
right.
But down in Queensland, they have a lot of koala bears, but I don't get to see many where I live.
Okay. But they're so cute. They're very adorable, koala bears.
Yeah, very, very sweet.
Lydia, treadmill or free weights?
I prefer free weights.
Woohoo,
I
me
always
too.
have.
Yep.
Yeah,
All the
more versatile.
yeah,
You
definitely.
can take them anywhere and do a lot more with them.
Singing lessons or dance lessons?
We're coming from a dance background. I'd have to say dancing. I'm definitely not a singer.
A singer.
No.
So besides ballet, do you have other dances that you like, type of dance that you like?
Well, growing up, I did pretty much everything. I did ballet, I did a little bit of hip hop, contemporary, jazz, lyrical. I loved every type of dance you can think of.
Do you like breakdancing? As you know, in Australia, instead of breakdancer in the Olympics, which caused
I've
a
never
lot of controversy.
I've never done breakdancing before, but yesterday I posted a photo on my Instagram in an Australian t-shirt and shorts in the Australian Olympic colours, and I got so many comments saying, "Oh my gosh, you should start breakdancing," after everything that happened at the Olympics this year.
Exactly. You know what? After that incident, I think they banned breakdancing in the next
Mm,
Olympics. They will
They
not have
do.
any men anymore. Yeah. I feel bad for that girl. I thought she was okay, but what do I know about breakdancing, right? But I thought she's amazing. And, hey, I think she had a chance. So that's great. Lydia, money or love?
Love. Love makes the world go round.
That's right. And it doesn't cost anything to love or
Mm,
to be loved, right?
exactly. It's free.
It's free. Wonderful. Game number two. Tell me your
Mhm.
favorites, okay? What
Okay.
is your favorite non-alcoholic drink?
Mine is water. Even as a child, I've never really enjoyed like soft drinks or juices. Always just liked water.
Tap water, right?
Okay.
Tap water. And plus water is good for your skin. It
Yeah, exactly.
purifies, it
Mm.
detoxifies your body. That's good. What is your favorite color? Let me guess, blue.
No, mine is pink.
Pink, really?
It's my
Okay.
second favorite though.
Oh, is that
Mhm.
going to be the color of your evening gown?
No, it's not going to be the color of my evening gown, but I have to keep that a secret though.
Keep it a secret. All right, I like secrets. What is your favorite flower?
I love sunflowers.
Oh my God, me too.
It
It's
makes
my
me feel so
favorite.
happy. Mm.
Yes, yes, yes. I love sunflowers too because they always smile and
Yeah.
they always smile and they always follow the sun, where it
Mm.
goes. So,
Yeah, they're
hey,
beautiful. I always give them as gifts to my friends because I think they're the flowers that just make everyone happiest.
exactly. What is your favorite holiday?
My favorite holiday, as in my favorite holiday would be Christmas.
Yes, me too. Woo! All right, because I wasn't sure exactly the meaning of the word holiday because here in America, holiday means Christmas, 4th of July, Halloween,
At,
all
at
that.
first, I
Yeah,
thought you meant holiday as in like location to travel.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah, I know holiday in America actually means like festivals or
Festivals. Good.
festivities.
See, it helps being part American.
Yeah.
What is your favorite music?
Well, I love Taylor Swift. I'm a huge Swiftie.
Okay, you
Anything,
are.
yeah.
Are you friends with Miss Earth Australia 2022, who looks
Ah,
like Taylor Swift?
Sheridan. Yeah,
Yes.
I love Sheridan.
Yes.
I actually,
She's
I
cute.
only met her this year for the first time. She's so lovely.
She's very lovely. She's amazing. I had a chance to interview her, and she's just amazing. And
Yeah,
she should
she's
have
incredible.
won. She should have won Miss Earth. Okay, I think so too. Now, what is your favorite word?
My favorite word is discombobulated.
What?
Yeah, it means like disconcerted or like a state of confusion. But I just think the word itself is just a really fun word to say. Ever since I first saw it written in a book, it's been my favorite.
So I guess you're going to be using that word a lot when you go to Vietnam.
Hopefully, I'm not too confused over there, but if I am, it would be discombobulated.
That's funny. Discombobulated is Miss Cosmo
Mm.
Australia's favorite word. Okay, wonderful. Game number three. Would you
Yeah.
rather, Lydia, would you rather have more time or more money?
I would rather have more time. I remember when I was in England a few years ago, I met one of the street performers and he said something that's stuck with me forever. And he told me, you can lose money and you can lose possessions, but you can always regain them. But one thing you can never regain is time. And
Mhm.
that stuck with me forever. So if I could have anything, it would be more time.
Do you feel like time is just too short? Like 24 hours is just not enough?
Yeah, I feel like there needs to be more time in the day to achieve everything you want to. I wish there was more time.
Yeah, like 36 hours, okay, during the day.
Yeah. And like you can use your time to create so much good for the world, and with time, you can make a lasting impact.
Mhm.
So that's
Exactly. And
definitely
of
a big one.
course, And of course, the more time you have, the more time you have to make money, right?
Oh yeah, they go hand in hand, don't they?
Exactly. So hey, time.
Hmm.
Would you rather know all the world's languages or speak with animals?
I would rather speak with animals. That is such an, no one else in the world can do it. So if I could do it, that would be incredible.
Do you have any pets?
Yes, I have a dog. I'm surprised he hasn't been like barking and running around, to be honest, because he's a puppy, so he's a little bit crazy at the moment.
Hmm?
But yeah, he's been very well behaved during this interview, which I'm happy about.
Oh, that's good. I have a dog too. I'm a big animal
Oh,
lover. And I really think that if all animals could speak,
mm.
there would be no animal cruelty anymore.
Yes, I agree. And
Yeah.
well, for Miss Cosmo, they asked us to source out some videos of our childhood. And so I was watching all of these videos from when I was a toddler, and there's just so many videos of me like patting animals and cuddling animals and stroking dogs. And I've just always been, I love animals.
Yes. Hooray for animals. Animals enhance our lives. Definitely.
Yeah.
Now, would you rather drink a glass of dirty water or
Mm.
eat a half-eaten pizza from the garbage?
Well, I think both of them are far from ideal. But if I really had to choose, it would be to eat the pizza. Because hopefully the pizza is in the box still to protect it. But either or, I think it's less risky to eat a pizza than drink a glass of dirty water.
Good answer. Good answer. Wonderful. Would you always be 10 minutes late or 20 minutes early?
I would rather be early. I think if you're early, you're always looking prepared and you're representing yourself well. Whereas if you are always consistently running late, that's not a, great quality to showcase for yourself. I think it's always better to be early and prepared.
I totally agree, especially if you're competing in a pageant because it's a job interview when you're competing in Miss Cosmo. Okay,
Mm.
so if you're like even 1 minute late, I think it will not give a very good impression on the judges at all. So it's better.
It,
It's always
it,
better to be early.
I agree. I agree.
All right, good. Just remember that, people. Lydia, would you rather never get angry or never be envious?
I would rather never get angry. Yeah. I think being envious can sometimes that can force you to being envious, it can force you to strive for excellence and it can put you in a position where you're striving for the best outcome in yourself and working on yourself. Whereas being angry, that anger never gets anybody anywhere good. So I
Yeah,
would rather never be angry.
wonderful. Yeah, I mean, yeah, envy, angry, yeah. It's when you become angry, anger leads to hatred,
Yeah.
and then hatred leads to violence. So when you
Mm,
feel angry, the least angry you feel in your heart, pluck it out right away. Don't
yeah.
dwell on it. So that's good.
Mm.
Good. Would you rather be beautiful but stupid or intelligent but ugly?
I would rather be intelligent but ugly because you can use your intelligence to help you, use your voice to create a lasting impact and to create a change, whereas you can't do that with beauty alone.
Mhm. I totally agree. Definitely agree. Because uh beauty, like physical beauty eventually fades away in time, but
Exactly.
your personality, your character, your intelligence, your education, it'll always remain forever. Nobody can take that away from you. Okay.
Yeah.
So good. You know what? I invited Hong to join us
Mhm.
because I want to say hello to him and give him a chance to say hello to everybody. So let's welcome Hong.
Oh, my goodness.
And, oh, that is so cute. Hi, Hong. Can you hear us?
Hello, I can.
Hi, Hong.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you so much.
You know
Long
what?
time
I
no
was look
see.
I was looking at your profile and you are a pageant king.
Yes, I am.
We're looking at Mr. Regency International 2024,
Yes,
representing Vietnam.
yes.
And tell us a little bit about your experience in Orlando, Florida.
Well, my experience in Orlando was 50-50. I enjoyed it, and then I also didn't enjoy it at the same time because one, it was very humid over there, and two, we were stuck in a little hurricane as well. So that was a
Oh
little bit
no.
scary to experience. But but to be honest, I love my experience over at Regency. It was something that, I've always wanted to do, and I finally did it and I won. So that's a good sign.
That's wonderful. You know what? I knew you beforehand, due to our common friend Peter Sereno, and
Yes.
of course, people who have been following Critical Beauty, know who Peter Sereno is. Peter Sereno is, or rather, was the former director of the Pageant Institute until he stepped down, and now Brooke Murray is the new director of the Pageant Institute. Now, I'd like to know how you and Lydia met. How did you two hook up?
So we met at a previous national pageant. Lydia actually competed in Miss Grand Australia. So I'm a very friendly person. So I always like to reach out to a lot of different contestants and, get to know them. Or if I'm really passionate or interested about them, then that's why I would do it. So we met there for the previous two seasons of Miss Grand. And then, yeah, I asked Lydia a question about internationals, and she was very interested in pursuing that one day. And then Miss Cosmo popped up, and I knew that would have been the perfect opportunity for her, not only to represent Australia, but to also go to Vietnam and compete in the pageant. And being one of few, very few of Vietnamese directors, I think she has a little advantage there.
That's wonderful. Now, I would imagine you're 100% involved with her preparation. I would
Yes.
think, yeah, being the director. What else do you think she needs to improve in?
Well, I know that she wants to speak to all the Vietnamese fans and also speak Vietnamese. So that's something that we still have to try and do over the next couple of weeks before the competition actually starts. But to be honest, I've seen Lydia's preparation from start to finish. I feel like she is ready and she will take the world by storm.
That's
Oh, thank you.
wonderful. That's wonderful. So, do you agree with Hong's assessment, Lydia? Are you
I think,
100% prepared?
yeah, I've put a lot of work into my preparations, everything from interview, question and answer, styling, walking. I've really put a lot of work into this. So I'm feeling really prepared to go over, and I'm just excited now to get the ball rolling.
Now, Hong, I saw some of the wardrobe that you wore at the pageant in Florida. Uh, are you going to be lending some of these wardrobe to Lydia?
I'm not 100% sure if she will fit because I am a more smaller body frame, but I have to say,
So cool.
Vietnam and everyone else, watch out for Lydia. We have some amazing wardrobe planned. That's all I
That's
can say.
well, can you give us at least some hints about the national costume? Like, what would her costume represent? And you don't have to be given details, but give us some hint at least.
I this is a secret.
I'm
I
leaving that to you, Lydia.
I can give
Okay.
you some, maybe not the national costume because that's a secret, but a lot. I've collaborated with a store here in Australia with my daily outfits, and a lot of the outfits that I will be wearing are outfits that represent Australian culture and Australian nature. So I've got a few outfits and dresses that have prints of Australian native wildlife and nature and animals on. So I'm excited to wear those to the internationals because I think it will really bring out my Australian culture whilst I'm competing. So that's something I'm excited for and will be a little bit different from other contestants.
Oh, I can't wait to see it. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure it's going to be very amazing. You know, Vietnam has a lot of incredible talented designers, dress designers, and also costume designers. I think when Miss Grand International took place in Vietnam, some of the contestants actually contracted Vietnamese designers to do their costumes. Um, and I think, you know, because they're just amazing, an
Mhm.
incredible talented, you know, designers there. Plus, it's also reasonable. It's fairly cheaper to have your costume done,
I
especially
agree.
if you plan to wear a huge costume, rather have
Mhm.
it made in Vietnam than hauling it all the way from Australia. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so my national costume and my evening gown has been made by a Vietnamese designer.
There you go. There you go. Wonderful. So, Hong, I think you asked me if I'm going to Miss Cosmo. You know what? I wish I could go because there's so many pageants. Because I know Miss Cosmo is on October 5th. People are asking me, Rafa, are you going to Miss Grand International, which is like 20 days later on the
Mhm.
25th in Thailand, and then Miss Universe, which is in Mexico City on November 16th. And I am saving all my money to go to Miss Universe because I know it's going to be very exciting. Uh, as much as I want to go to Miss Cosmo, but I think, Hong, you know, my friend, I have two friends who are both
Mhm.
national directors. One is Noemi Melendez, who is Cuba's national director, and Brian Javier, who is U.S. Virgin Islands national director.
Yes.
So you are going to meet them because they're both,
Oh,
yes.
can't wait.
Uh, in fact, Noemi already has booked her hotel in, I think it's going to be in Ho Chi Minh City, I believe. Yes.
Yes.
She's booked her hotel there and she's so excited and Brian as well. So you get to meet my two friends, two national directors. So that's great. Well,
Fabulous.
I'm really, really excited for the both of you. I really, really do. I really am because I can't wait to see Australia. As you know, Australia has been doing quite well lately
Yeah,
in
we
the pageant
have.
world.
Australia has been doing well very recently in pageantry, so hopefully we can keep up the trend.
Mhm.
Fingers crossed.
And you
I
know
am
what?
manifesting.
Well, at least they could use a blonde. You know what I mean? Because it's very rare these days to crown blondes. You know what's up with that?
I've noticed that maybe this year it will be different. Who knows?
Exactly, exactly. Now, who do you wish would be your roommate? Do you have any idea?
Oh,
I don't know. All of the girls seem lovely, to be honest. So I've spoken to a fair few of them online, over Instagram Messenger, and they've all been so nice and so kind and supportive. So I would really be happy with anyone, to be honest, at this point.
Mhm. Okay, all right. Yeah, you know, hang out with the most popular girls. Me too.
I'm
That's
excited to.
that's usually the strategy. All the more popular girls will hang around together. But I think you know what? Once you go to Vietnam, you'll know exactly who, you know, when you connect with, so to speak. So
Yeah, that's it.
mhm.
It's very hard to tell over, social media, but as soon as you get there, I think you'll have that instant connection to certain countries or you'll relate to someone a little bit more. So that will be really exciting to see once we get over there.
So how many suitcases do you intend to bring with you?
Well, that's my chore the next coming days is to start packing. So I'm aiming for 4 to 5 suitcases.
Well, that's not too bad. No.
Yeah, aiming for four, but it might have to be five.
and
Okay.
one box.
Oh yeah, and a box of my national costume
Yeah.
because it's
No. No. I would also suggest to carry one empty suitcase just in case, you need space for all the sponsors' gifts and whatnot,
Mm,
all the prizes and whatever you have to buy from Vietnam as souvenirs and whatnot.
yeah.
So yeah, always bring an empty suitcase. Okay.
Yeah, I'm asking my family if they can pack very light so that I can transfer my items into their suitcase when we leave.
That's
You can
wonderful.
also use mine as well, Lydia, because my suitcase will be half empty.
Uh, lots of
Maybe you can fit Hong in one of your suitcases.
yeah.
That'd be, I mean, light, right? You have to pay extra weight for that.
Yeah.
Listen, I can't thank you enough for taking your time. I know you're very busy with your schedule. Hong as well. You're currently at work, correct?
Yes, correct.
Does your boss know that you're interviewing with us?
My boss knows. I told her the first minute I came in.
Oh, okay. Well, that's great. You must have a wonderful boss. That's great. Now,
Yeah.
so I'm really excited, for Miss Cosmo Australia to debut in the inaugural edition of Miss Cosmo, which will take place in Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh City on October 5th. And over 80 countries are expected to compete during the first edition. So the whole world is looking forward to this amazing competition. I know I am, because I'm very, very excited, whatnot. So Lydia, before I let you go, is there a message that you would like to convey to all your followers, your fans, and to everyone who's watching the show?
Yeah, I'd just like to say a humongous thank you for all of the support that I've been given ever since I was crowned Miss Cosmo Australia. It's really been so nice, and the support has really pushed me to keep going and to keep striving to do my best in the competition. And now I'm just so excited to finally head over there and get the ball running and meet all of the Vietnamese fans. So yeah, my biggest message is just thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of the kindness and support I've been given. It has really truly meant the world to me.
Critical Beauty, I want you to follow Lydia on her journey to Miss Cosmo 2024. I will put down your Instagram account in the description box below, as well as Hong's social media account. So my followers can also follow both of you. So wish them the best of luck. I know the two of you will make a wonderful team. And
Thank
I
you so
know,
much.
Hong, I heard so many wonderful, amazing things about you from Peter, and how, in a way, you've sort of like revolutionized Australian pageantry and elevated it into a much, better, significant position. So Australia is very lucky to have you in the
Thank
pageant
you.
industry. And good luck. Good luck to you. Lydia, good luck to you as well. And once this video is uploaded, I will tag you so you can share it, with your followers, okay, on your social media. Well, it was such a pleasure getting to know you and to meet you. And hopefully someday, maybe next year, we'll meet in person, okay?
Yes, we will. I promise.
And the next time you come to Florida, we'll try to fix our schedule so we can, meet or synchronize the whole thing together.
Yes. Well,
Yeah,
I'll be in Texas next year, so I think I'll be a little bit closer.
That's right. Exactly. That's
Yeah.
right. So listen, have a wonderful, wonderful week ahead of you, and I will talk to you soon. Critical Beauty, thank you for following us, and thank you for watching the show. And please follow both Lydia and Hong on the social media. So thank you. Goodbye. Good night. Good morning. Have a wonderful
Bye.
week.
Thank you.